Hello and welcome spiritual travelers and friends to another Mystic Owl Picker card reading. Today I'm going to try something a little bit different, a bit more fun and upbeat. I'm going to predict your personality traits and your current life direction by using some oracle cards. I also have a deck of various countries here, along with a bowl full of personality traits and descriptions of nature. So I'm going to use those to start with to get an idea of like where you might be from, or some countries that you want to travel to, or where you've actually lived in the past possibly. And then move on to the oracle cards to get an idea about your personality and where you're currently headed in life. So I have 6 piles today. I hope I haven't overcommitted. So pile 1 is with the Lapis Lazuli. Pile 2 is with the clear Quartz Seer stone. Pile 2 is with the beautiful Malachite. Pile 3 with the Malachite, I should say. Pile 4 with the Tiger's Eye. Pile 5 with the Rose Quartz. And pile 6 with the Aventurine Spear. So please use your intuition to pick a pile. You could pick more than one if you like. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And let's get started with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1 with the Lapis Lazuli. Let's find out about your personality and where you're currently headed in life by starting with getting some country cards for you to find out where you are from potentially, or where you've traveled, where you'd like to travel, maybe where you'd like to live. See if we can get 3 or 4 of them. Here we go. Your 4 cards are the United Kingdom. You have Russia. Interesting. We have India. And we have Poland. Nice. Okay. So you may be from any of those 4 countries. You may have traveled potentially to any of these 4 countries. You may have wanted to go see the Taj Mahal in India. You may have been to the UK and spent some time traveling through Europe, possibly. You may love Indian food, I sense. Or maybe some British food, some fish and chips. Or these may be places that you want to travel in your future, something that you've always wanted to do. Let's get some personality cards now from the personality bowl. I'm going to close my eyes and shuffle through. Okay. Oh, you got a few of them. So your first card pile, so your cards pile 1, you have sexual. You have rivers and streams. You have artistic. Extroverted. Loud, okay. So loud and extroverted, so you like to be the center of attention. You have animals and pets. Interesting, you have peaceful also. Seaside, more water energy there. You have the great sense of humor. You have crafty and creative. So you also have artistic too. Adventurous. And you have water and ocean. Okay. So lots of water and ocean energy here. So you've got seaside, rivers and streams, and water and ocean. You have artistic and crafty, indicating that you may be very artistic, which would really make sense with a lot of water energy, like your deep emotions and your intuition, like channeling that into art or a creative talent somehow. You also like to stand out from the crowd, I see here, with the extroverted and the loud cards. Along with the sexual card here, you may be very confident in the way that you look, I sense, Pile 1. So you like to show your body off. You're not afraid of who you are, and you really sort of walk into a room and can grab the attention of everyone, I sense. You also have great sense of humor. Along with the artistic, crafty and creative cards and the sexual cards, I really sense that there's something about your personality that it just grabs people's attention. You might be very playful in the way that you communicate to people, or you may have a very sharp wit. You may be very witty and funny. But most definitely someone that likes to spend a lot of time outdoors also, with the strong water energy here. Adventurous, animals and pets indicating that you like nature. I sense that you're very well traveled and you've done a lot of time spending a lot of time around like locations that could be quite tropical. The UK is surrounded by water. But water may have a very strong aspect in your life. You may like to live by the water. You may live by the beach or an ocean somehow. You may have a pool, or you like to spend time at the beach or by the ocean. Or potentially you have strong sort of water placements in your natal chart too. Now let's get some further insight about your personality by looking at your oracle cards. Oh, you have the 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius. Broadening your horizons, either spiritually, academically, or a long journey. Okay. Well, that really touches on the fact that you might be quite well traveled or are very versed in different cultures and have done a lot of study and research about different cultures potentially. You have the 2nd house, your assets, finances, and the things that you value. You have the presence card, number 44, awareness, attention, reality, and connection. And you have the guidance card, number 47, support, love, signs, and direction. Well, that's really interesting. Both of these cards are related to the crown chakra, or being very spiritually inclined, probably downloading a lot of messages or having a lot of insight into certain situations by some spiritual gifts potentially. So this is a group with the 9th house also of spirituality and expansion that I sense is very spiritually inclined. And I also see that potentially you channel your spiritual wisdom or your spiritual inclination potentially into like some sort of creative talent or art, Pile 1. You may like to communicate about your spiritual wisdom or your downloads and your insight and share that with other people, with the loud card and the extroverted card here. Also with the sexual card indicating to me that you're quite happy being in the limelight or showing yourself off to some degree. I sense this is a group that may use spirituality somehow in terms of creating money or as their primary income or career source. But also a very sort of emotional and compassionate individual with the strong water energy here. Along with the card of guidance, it says here, support, love, signs, and direction. A very emotional, compassionate, loving, and giving individual. So I see a group here that's really very spiritually inclined and that may have a mission in life here during this time on Earth, Pile 1. And I do sense that might be to do with like showing off your creative talents or being in the spotlight somehow with the second house ruled by Venus, of beauty and aesthetics and creative gifts. You may be using these spiritual downloads or this strong spiritual inclination to share your gift to humanity through the arts or music, or potentially to share your voice in terms of your belief systems and what you value. You also have the card here of peaceful too. Along with the ninth house of philosophy, I really just sense a group that feels that they may have a mission here also during this time to like raise humanity to the age of Aquarius and to show the world what you can do and what you can achieve if you put your mind to it. So you're not afraid to be in the limelight, I sense, Pile 1. You're adventurous and outgoing, a group that's very well traveled. You've drawn upon those experiences of like what you've learned from the research that you've done and where you've been and the people that you've met, but have channeled that into some sort of creative gift or to sharing your voice somehow. Nice. Moving on. Oh, okay. You have the double mission card. Lovely. I love this card. Lightworker, Starseed. There you go. Serve the world by being you. Beautiful. And you have the baby steps card. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Right. So just touching on that, I was picking up on a group that may have a mission in life. It says here double mission, Lightworker, Starseed. So I sense that your double mission is about channeling your spiritual insights and wisdom into some sort of creative gift, but also helping other people really see what they can do if they choose to stand in their own power and follow their own dreams and desires. And with the baby steps here, in between the presence card and the guidance card, really indicating that you know how to be in the moment and to follow each and every step, each and every bit of guidance and information that is downloaded to you. And you really trust in this intuition that you have, this strong intuition to following your dreams and desires and channeling your gifts into some sort of creative talent. Oh, you have the Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. That's beautiful. Okay. And you have the Moth spirit, Surrender Now. Once again, two more very spiritually inclined cards. So you've surrendered your life over to a higher calling, to this double mission, Pile 1. I sense that you may have cut away anything in your past that wasn't serving you, and you've really dedicated yourself to showing yourself off and to giving yourself over to raising humanity by channeling your gifts into a creative talent, or by communicating your beliefs to the rest of humanity. But I also see here with the Nightingale spirit, love is all around. It looks to me, these little trumpets or flowers look like ears. And with the Nightingale having a very beautiful song voice, I sense that you may have some strong clairaudience potentially, so your spirit guides communicate to you by whispering in your ear, or you pick up on certain sounds or tunes that you know mean something and give you like insight into a certain situation. But also I sense that you have a beautiful singing voice too. So your creative talent may be sharing your voice somehow through singing or by communication somehow. And it's what you do as a primary income, I'm sensing, Pile 1. But lots of purple here and violet with the presence card, the baby steps card, the guidance card, along with the double mission. And the ninth house, which rules spirituality and expansion and growth. You're here to really learn as much as you can, Pile 1, and to show that off to the rest of the world, to show off your talents, to show off your knowledge, to share your wisdom, to be very compassionate and to be an activist, to help people see that if they stand in their own power and follow their own dreams and desires, that the world will be a better place. That's all I have for you, Pile 1. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to Pile 2. Hello, pile 2 with the clear quartz crystal seer stone. Let's find out about your personality and where you're currently headed by starting with some country cards to see where you may live or where you've been, where you've traveled to, what cultures you might be interested in. Spirit, can we get some country cards, please, for pile 2? Oop, that's too many. Oh, there you go. So your 4 cards, pile 2, you have New Zealand. Nice. My Kiwi brothers from the Pacific Ocean. We have Mexico. And we have Egypt. Well, we have the USA. Okay, there we go. So you may be from any of those countries. You may have visited those countries, potentially. You may have always wanted to visit those countries. You may enjoy visiting countries that have a very sort of long-standing history, or some ancient historical sites, potentially. That might be an interest of yours. You may be interested in like ancient cultures. I know I have a lot of viewers from the USA. So if you're from the USA, hello. But I also have some viewers from New Zealand, so hello to my Kiwi brothers also. Moving on, let's get some insight into your personality traits from the personality bowl. I'm going to close my eyes and grab some cards. See if we can get 6 or 7 of them. Two more. Oop. Okay, there you go. So your cards, you got quite a bit more than I expected. Anyway, you have the seaside. Lovely. Like from New Zealand, surrounded by the sea. You may live on one of the east coast or the west coast of Mexico or the USA, potentially. You are uptight. Nice. Nature, lovely. Dramatic. Eccentric. You're playful. Animals and pets, lovely. Sporty and active. Okay, there's a bit more cards than I expected, but that's okay. Extroverted. Bubbly personality, lovely. Analytical. And beauty. Okay. So I see a group that may have some strong personality traits, actually, with the uptight card here, the eccentric card. Bubbly personality and dramatic. I sense that you're quite, I'm picking up on a group that might be very moody or may have very strong emotional reactions to things. So when you are upset, you're very upset, very dramatic. When you're in a happy, vibrant mood, you're ecstatic and you're playful. You like to bring out the best in other people, and your mannerisms show that you just are radiating a lot of positive energy. I also see a group that likes aesthetics too, with the beauty card here and nature. Also with the sporty and active card, indicating to me that You love beautiful things, that you may be considered quite beautiful or quite unique in the way that you look. There's something about the way you look that people find quite striking, pile 2. But I sense that you also keep your body in shape by doing a lot of exercise or by getting outdoors a lot too. So this was a very outdoorsy group with the nature card and the sporty and active card here. I also sense that you get a lot of joy by being out in nature and being around natural, beautiful things like plants and animals, or like gardens or flowers and stuff like that. But somebody that definitely likes to stand out from the crowd with the extroverted card here. You don't mind really showing off your personality to people. I sense that you're probably very confident in the way that you look too, pile 2. So even though you may have very strong and extreme emotional reactions to things, you are very confident and generally like to be very playful. And I sense that there's some really sort of intriguing or unique personality traits that you have that people just enjoy or like about you, pile 2. But moving on from that, let's get some further insight about your personality from your oracle cards. Okay. You have the star sign of Aquarius, which really makes sense, and it really explains a lot of these personality traits that have come out, like eccentric, dramatic, analytical too. Aquarius is a highly analytical star sign, very forward-thinking. This energy is freedom-loving, rebellious, idealistic, and technological. Oh, you have the star sign of Aries also. Once again, with the extroverted card here, and being very sporty and active, a go-getter. You like to stand in your power and put yourself first, I sense, pile 2. You have the third eye chakra. And you also have the card of sexuality, which really goes along well with the beauty card and the sporty and active card, indicating to me that people find you quite sexual or quite attractive. There's something about you that's very alluring. This is a group that I see really looks after their body, with the Aries card here also indicating that you really like to put yourself first and that you look after yourself, pile 2. And I don't mean that in a negative sense at all. It just means that you really know how to look after yourself by spending time in nature, participating in a lot of sporty activities. There may be some sports that you played as a child that you've continued on now into your adult life, and you do that maybe every week, or go to the gym quite regularly so you can maintain the beautiful physique that I sense you have, pile 2. But most definitely a very unique and quirky individual too. Some might say quite eccentric in the way that you speak or the way that you dress. You like to stand out from the crowd with the dramatic card here, and it really shows through with your personality. You radiate this sort of obscure or unique energy that most people find quite alluring, I sense, because you also have the bubbly personality card here. So when you're in a happy mode, bubbly personality and playful, when you're feeling good, you can shine a light on anyone and bring out so much fun and joy and put a smile on everyone's face, I sense, pile 2. There's something about you that is just really alluring, and people are very drawn to you. But most definitely also very forward-thinking and a very intelligent group too. You also have the third eye chakra and the analytical card. Interesting, they're both purple. So I sense that even though some may see you as a little bit different and unique, you have a very keen insight and awareness into other people's personality traits, what they may be thinking, how they may be feeling. You have a sharp perception and have a deeper understanding about what people might be going through, and have an ability to sort of help them overcome certain challenges, or to be able to impart some sage advice to help soothe people. It's quite interesting that you got Aries and Aquarius. Aries being the star sign about going forth and and leading, taking charge and standing in their own power, whereas Aquarius is really dedicated to humanitarian causes, wanting to move humanity forward into the age of Aquarius. So there might be that strong dichotomy there with you, Pile, too, of taking charge and being a leader, but making sure that you do so by serving humanity to some degree. Or I also am getting like a strong activist vibe here too. Someone that might lead an activist movement potentially. With your confidence and the way that you look, there's something about you that people are just drawn to. So you can use your voice potentially, Pile, too, to stand up for your own values and rights or what you believe in. But I also sense that you have a very playful side to the bedroom too, that you'll, take what resonates, Pile, too, but you may be very sort of experimental in your sexuality, I sense. This is a group that potentially might be transgender or gay or bisexual. But sexuality and beauty are something that's very dear and important to you. I sense that you like and enjoy having sex, that you enjoy spending a lot of time with your partner. You like to work on your body and spend a lot of time exercising and making sure that you look good. You may spend a lot of time at the ocean, maybe like running on the beach or swimming. Moving on. Your final cards. You have the Wombat Spirit, be at home. Interesting. You have the White Raven Spirit, number 66, trust in the magic. Okay. You have the Wait card. It's not time. Things are being woven. And you have the Star Brothers card. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Right. So I did pick up on, with the Star Brothers card, it says a loyalty, safety, and trust. A group that may really want to dedicate their life or is very interested and involved in like activism causes, with the word of active there too. Extroverted, but the strong Aquarian vibes, but also of loyalty and trust, really standing in your power and using your voice to stand up for your own beliefs. And because you've got the Aries card here, along with the Wait card and Uptight, I sense that maybe you have like a very short temper, Pile, too. You might lose your temper very quickly, or you can be quite impatient when you've got your mind set on something. You're a very determined and driven individual. And when you make your mind up on something, you really want it right now and you want to go for it. So this is a group that I sense doesn't like having to wait. It doesn't like to sort of sit back and let other people sort of get in the limelight. Not to say that you're greedy, but I just sense that you want your turn too, so you can really put yourself out there and express what you want to express. With the White Raven Spirit, trust the magic. And the Third Eye card, this is a group that may have some spiritual gifts potentially. I am picking up on like some strong sort of clairvoyant abilities, or at least sort of having an idea of what might be coming soon, being able to predict the future with the analytical card here. You can take the information that you've been given, sort through it, and really sort of get an idea of what the most likely outcome or scenario will be. So you may have some strong clairvoyant abilities or have deja vu quite frequently, I sense, Pile 2. But also with the Wombat Spirit here, noting that the gem is on the crown chakra, it says spend time at home, which is really quite interesting because I got a vibe of somebody that likes to be outdoors, that likes to be in charge, that spends a lot of time exercising and spending time in nature. So once again, there's that strong dichotomy of like having time outside and being very driven, going after things, but also you know when to take time out and to spend time at home to recoup and recharge, but to also be around those loved ones, the people that are dear to you. You may enjoy spending a lot of time or dedicate a lot of time to your partner. They may bring you a lot of pleasure and you just have a lot of fun being around them. They bring out the best parts of you. And that's all I have for you. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 3. Hello there, pile 3, with the lovely Malachite stone. Let's get an idea of your personality traits and where you're currently headed in life by starting with your country cards. I'm just going to shuffle this quickly and get a few cards for you. Oh, there's one already. So can we get some cards, some country cards for pile 3? Okay. So your 4 cards, you have Peru, interesting. You have Argentina, okay. South America. You have China. And you also have Egypt. Wow, it's a very eclectic bunch of countries. I wasn't expecting that at all. So, you may be someone that's done a lot of traveling, I'm sensing, pile 3. You may have traveled a lot through South America. Maybe you've gone to see Machu Picchu, possibly. Or you may have an inkling or want to see a lot of like historical man-made structures. I'm picking up on with the Great Wall in the China card. You've also got the pyramids in the Egypt card, along with Machu Picchu. And in Peru, you may have an urge to want to see a lot of like historical man-made structures. Or you may want to travel the world and go to places that have lots of sort of ancient history associated with them. You may be Chinese, or you may be from South America, potentially. I'm also sensing that potentially you like Chinese food, pile 3. Let's get some idea about some personality traits from the personality bowl. Just going to close my eyes and pull some cards. Let's get 5 or 6. There we go. So your cards, oh, there's quite a few there. You have beauty. We have mountains, okay. Which isn't surprising considering you have the Great Wall of China there, along with Machu Picchu in Peru. You have loud, although it's hard to see. You have dramatic. You have the word analytical. Oh, you have sporty and active. And you have great sense of humor, which is really nice to hear. So what I do see for you, pile 3, is a very outdoorsy type of person. You've got sporty and active here. And mountains associated with like Peru and China. Someone that probably likes to go hiking. I sense that you've spent a lot of time in your past traveling the world and wanting to see a lot of like very historical or man-made structures, going to countries that have a lot of history associated with them. I am also picking up on someone that has a very sort of quirky sense of humor with analytical here and great sense of humor. You might be very witty, I sense. You have a sharp tongue. You can make people laugh at the drop of the hat. Somebody that likes to stand out from the crowd, also with the loud card here. I sense that you have quite a lot of fire in your chart. Somebody that likes to be seen with the beauty card here, the loud card, and dramatic. You want people to notice you, and I sense that when you're around a group of people, you sort of like the eyes on you, not because you're greedy or anything like that. You just enjoy being in the spotlight and making people laugh. I am picking up on a group that really looks after their health too. With sporty and active here, along with the mountains, which I'm getting an image of someone that likes or enjoys hiking up mountains. You may go to the gym quite regularly and spend a lot of time outdoors in your garden or possibly in the park, possibly going for walks every day, something like that. But finally, I also see someone that other people tend to see as quite an attractive individual with sporty and active and beauty, really indicating that you look after your health. People find you quite attractive, or they find you very alluring, pile 3. So lucky you. So it seems to me that you have both the brains, but also the looks too. So that's a great combination, and you're very well traveled. So let's move on to your oracle cards to get an idea of your personality and where you're headed. Your first card is the card of Uranus. It says, your potential for sudden change, enlightenment, and awakening. This always reminds me of like the Tower card. Ooh, you have the star sign of Pisces, like me. The energy is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate, and forgiving. It confuses and softens resolve. Apologies, pile 5. I just had to pause the video. I had a visitor. So, your Chakra Insight Oracle cards. You had the card of responsibility. Number 20, self-discipline, empowerment, reliability, and fulfillment. And you have the card of seeing, perspective, truth, knowledge, and clarity. So interesting how they've been laid out. I sense for you, pile 3, that in your past you've had a moment in your life where things sort of crashed down around you. You had the Tower moment in your life where your life fell apart potentially, or you suddenly had a change in perspective about what your priorities are, I sense, and you've really like changed the direction of your life to sort of dedicate it more to, I guess, spirituality, or to contributing some way to the rest of humanity by like contributing beauty. Or I'm really picking up on someone that just wants to be free but also wants to contribute to humanity somehow. And so recently you've really committed or directed your life to like following that path. You've become more spiritual and more focused on certain goals. You may have traveled a lot in your past, and you've learned a lot from that. You've learned a lot about yourself with the truth here in the seeing card. It's really changed your perspective on life and what you want from life, I sense. So you may be someone that is quite dedicated to humanitarian causes I'm picking up on, with the Pisces star sign here, and also Uranus, who is the ruler of Aquarius, dedicating yourself to a humanitarian cause somehow. But also someone that's very intelligent I'm picking up on too, pile 3, with the analytical card here. You've got seeing here, and it says perspective and clarity. Along with Uranus, who is the ruler of Aquarius, and being an air sign, this is somebody that's very, very intelligent and very quite witty, I sense. You may have also recently started to like dedicate yourself to study or to doing research, and I see somehow it's focused with, I'm getting a humanitarian cause somehow. You have an urge to contribute back to humanity, pile 3, I sense. And you've really sort of like dedicated your life day in, day out to sort of fulfilling this goal. I am also seeing, pile 3, that in your past you've cut away certain habits or addictions or things that weren't serving you through this awakening, this sudden clarity, coming into an understanding about your life purpose or what you want to do with your life. You've really sort of cut away things that weren't working with you or serving you anymore, and because of it, you've really sort of started also to focus on your health, so that you can always be in the best possible shape to commit to the greater cause or to this life purpose that you've come across. I sense that you enjoy being in the spotlight also, pile 3, with the great sense of humor card, the loud card, indicating somebody that's very extroverted and likes to share their voice. Also with dramatic, which goes along with the Uranus card and the sudden awakening. This is you're somebody that likes to sort of stand out from the crowd, or you may do a lot of presentations about the research that you've done, or you like to share your unique perspective on life because you have a lot of experience based on your travels and your awakening and your keen sort of dedication to your life path. You really like to share your knowledge with other people and have a very open mind. I'm picking up on also. But most definitely someone that's a people-oriented person. With the card here of seeing, the star sign of Pisces, along with the great sense of humor card, you're somebody that has a keen perspective or perception on other people's personality traits, how they're feeling. You like to make sure that everyone around you is feeling upbeat and happy, and you tend to see the beauty in all people, and really make sure that they are aware of their own beauty that they can share to the rest of the world too. But moving on from that, pile 3. Oh, you have the perspective card, which is really interesting. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So you have the seeing card here with perspective. You have trust the timing card. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. You have the eagle spirit, number 23. Spirit has your back. Oh, and you also have the horse spirit, number 33. Freedom is yours. So once again with those cards, pile 3. Interesting, with 33 and 333, the number of expansion and growth. You're someone that wants to get out and dedicate your life to experiencing all that you can. You've traveled the world, I sense, so you've done a lot of traveling in your past. You may want to do a lot more traveling in your future, I sense, pile 3 also. You're an outdoorsy person that likes to spend a lot of time in nature, doing a lot of hiking and looking after your body. You're very well read, and I sense somebody that's highly intelligent, very analytical, and has a keen perspective on like life and what you can get out of life, and you want to share your knowledge with the rest of the world. With the spirit has your back here in the eagle, once again indicating you see things from a higher perspective. You're somebody that tends to look at the whole rather than the individual parts, and you do that from a very humanitarian aspect also, wanting to include everybody. But I sense freedom is your calling, pile 3, and it is your priority in life, the ability to do whatever you want when you want. And you live your life sort of like flowing with the universe, I sense, knowing that time isn't running out, that you have the time to do whatever you want. And also with the perspective card here, none of this matters. You have an understanding that you don't need to like get caught up in the minor details. You don't stress too much about all of the small things. You see the bigger perspective and just want to be able to experience life to the full. Somebody that's very fun-loving, I sense also, is very people-oriented and just wants the best for yourself and other people. I am also seeing a very spiritually inclined individual too. With the eagle spirit, spirit has your back. The star sign of Pisces, which is the spiritual star sign of the zodiac, the seeing card, and the card of Uranus, indicating that you've been through an awakening, a sudden epiphany and change of direction in your life. I sense that you also realize, pile 3, that being kind and supporting humanity, dedicating yourself to both the spiritual cause but also humanitarian causes, is like the greatest calling in life in a way, really. And you've really dedicated your life with the responsibility card here to getting the most out of your life, but also being able to contribute as much as you can to the people around you. A very warm, loving individual with a great sense of humor that's highly experienced and has a very open and free outlook on life. That's what I get for you, pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 4. Hello, pile 4 with the tiger's eye. Let's find out about your personality and where you're headed in life by starting with some country cards. Just going to shuffle and see if we can get 3 or 4 of them to come out for us. Spirit, can we get some country cards for pile 4, please? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So your 4 cards. Oh, you have China. Pile 3 got China also. You have Brazil. You have Vietnam. Oh, you have New Zealand. Interesting. So that's a very diverse group of countries. I am sensing potentially pile 4 that you've done some traveling through Asia or Southeast Asia with Vietnam and China here. You may love Chinese food, potentially. You may be Asian or potentially from China or Vietnam. I know I have some viewers also from New Zealand, so potentially this is your pile. You may also be Brazilian, potentially. Or these may be countries that you've always wanted to travel to. Potentially countries that you've been to in the past that you hold dear to your heart. I've traveled through New Zealand. I think that's, it's Milford Sound, which is really beautiful. You should go there if you ever get a chance, pile 4. And let's get some idea about your personality from the personality bowl. See if we can get like 5 or 6 cards. I'm closing my eyes. Sorry, my neighbors are very noisy. Get 2 more. There we go. So your cards, pile 4. Ooh, adventurous, which isn't surprising, seeing that you have countries dispersed all around the world there. You have meticulous, okay. You have perceptive, interesting. Oh, you have analytical. You have playful, pretty. And your final card is sexual, okay. So what I see from those cards is someone that isn't afraid really to show themselves off, I sense, with the sexual card and playful. I sense that you use your body to attract other people, and I commend you on that, I sense, pile 4. I think if you're attractive, then it's just another tool in your tool belt, you know. I'm picking up on a person that enjoys like alluring other people, or is very people oriented and likes to show yourself off to be around other people. You also have the adventurous card here too, really indicating to me that you like to sort of meet new people. You're very sociable. Along with the analytical card here and perceptive, somebody that's very intelligent tends to have a good idea of what people are thinking or feeling, I sense. You might be able to read a room very quickly when you walk in, and you're confident too, I see, with the playful and sexual card here, indicating some like confidence in the way you look and the way you present yourself. But I also see someone that might be very dedicated to study or to a particular cause. I sense that you're very hardworking, pile 4. With the meticulous card indicating like someone that is very dedicated and analytical, I sense that you would do well in research, or you might be in a field related to science or engineering. or some sort of field where you need to do a lot of research and constantly update your skills, potentially. I also see someone that would do really, really well with like counseling or touching on the human psyche somehow with the analytical card there and perspective. I sense that you do quite well with understanding people at a really deep level. Lovely. But also someone that I sense is quite well traveled with the adventurous card there. And all of these cards sort of being from different corners of the globe. Somebody that's also quite outdoorsy, like pile 3 too, with the mountains here in New Zealand, along with the Great Wall of China, which I know is exorbitantly long, and the adventurous card indicating that you're quite willing to do a lot of like hiking and walking and is quite the explorer, I sense, also powerful. But moving on, let's have a look at your oracle cards to get a better idea about your personality traits and where you're headed. You had the card of Vesta, the goddess within, your sacred spiritual center and quiet dignity. Well, you have Scorpio. This energy is intense, masterful, thoughtful, and magnetically charming. There you go. But also secretive and possessive. So that really reminds me with magnetically charming of that sort of sexual, playful energy that you have. Scorpio rules the house of sexuality. So I sense that you're quite willing to really show off your body and present yourself in a very alluring sexual way, powerful. That you have no fear of showing yourself off, and nor should you. You have the family card, number 2, belonging, community, culture, and tribe. You also have the card of sound, number 33, music, silence, rhythm, and vibration. I am picking up on someone that really works well when they have some sort of soothing music in the background with the perceptive card, the analytical card, and the sound card. I'm picking up on somebody that likes to spend a lot of time contemplating, in contemplation, also along with the card of Scorpio, which is the first sign really of like spirituality, is seeing the veil, touching on spiritual aspects. But somebody that likes to probably have music playing in the background when you're researching or doing study or working on a particular task, I sense. I also am picking up on somebody that probably likes to go out dancing a lot with the sexual card here, the playful, and the sound card indicating to me that you probably enjoy moving your body and showing you get a lot of pleasure of like just moving your body around and dancing to music that brings out the best in you. I see somebody that really needs a lot of alone time also. With the card here of Vesta, it says here your sacred spiritual center. Along with the analytical card indicating to me that you need time to really like process your thoughts or to process situations that you've been through the day or through the week. You need some alone time every day or every week to really get your thoughts together and have a deeper understanding about what has happened in your recent past and where you're headed. But somebody that's also very emotional with the Scorpio card here and the family card indicating to me that you might be very motherly too. Not only do you like to show your body off and be very playful and sexual, I sense, also pile 3, but you also have a very sort of tender side to you. You're very motherly. You look after people. You want the best for other people. So this was a very well-rounded group. Not only are you well-traveled or that you have an interest in different cultures, I sense, but you're also very well-rounded in terms of your personality. Somebody that's highly perceptive and very intelligent, quite dedicated to a cause, I sense, but also has a lot of like compassion and likes to give to other people, is very family-oriented. This is also a group that I sense probably has some strong spiritual or religious sort of routines or rituals that you dedicate yourself to daily. With the card here of Meticulous, with Vesta and your sacred spiritual center, along with the star sign of Scorpio, I sense that spirituality or religion is quite an integral and important part of your life, pile 4, and may actually have something to do with your life path or what you're doing as a career. Somebody that knows that spending time with family is also very important in terms of like personal growth, I sense too. Moving on from that. Oh, you have the Lion Spirit. Be generous of spirit, number 37. And you have the Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery, number 8. You have the Called card, Soul, Gifts, and Training. It's time to step up. Okay. And you have the Activated Earth card. Power, places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Right, so I did pick up on an energy of a very spiritually inclined individual. And with the card of Called here, indicating that you've probably been through an awakening and have realized that you need to sort of dedicate your life to another path, potentially powerful. The Activated Earth card, trust where you're being led, just knowing that the universe has your back and is guiding you. But someone that has no fear, really following their path. Also with both the Bobcat Spirit and the Lion Spirit, really indicating to me that you're quite willing to go after your prey, that you are, both of these animals are hunters, right? So you have no fear sort of going after those things that you want from life, I sense. I am also picking up on with the Sound card here and the Soul, Gifts, and Training. You may have some creative gifts, pile 4. Potentially you play an instrument, or you may sing, or you may have some artistic talents that is really quite important to your personality and your life path. But someone that's very hardworking and puts in a lot of time really perfecting these skills, I sense also. But once again, I just get a really well-rounded group here. So you have Fire with the Lion Spirit here. You have Water with the Scorpio card. There's Earth here with the Family card and the Activated Earth. And a lot of air energy also with the Analytical, the Perspective, and the Sound card. So a very well-rounded individual that I sense just is quite people-oriented and knows how to sort of mold your conversational skills to match different personalities. So I sense that people tend to like you quite easily, pile 4. You don't have to do a lot of work to make friends. That's all I have for you, pile 4. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 5. Welcome, pile 5, with the Rose Quartz Cube. Let's find out about your personality and where you're headed by starting with some countries cards. We'll see if we can get 3 or 4 of them. Spirit, can we get 3 or 4 countries cards for pile 5, please? Ooh, wow. That's an interesting one. Okay, there we go. So your 4 cards, pile 5. You have Greece. Nice. Oh, you have Vietnam, like pile 4. You have Cuba. And you have Israel. So they're a very eclectic group of cards, which I sense is an indication of your personality. Pile 5, you might be very unique or eclectic, quite quirky, potentially. Maybe you've done a lot of traveling in your past and you've been all around the world, because all of these places are sort of spread around the world. You've got Greece from Europe, Cuba from, I guess, America, really. Vietnam from Asia and Israel from like the Middle East. A diverse sort of range of countries there. You may have an interest in different cultures, potentially. So you've done a lot of reading and study about different cultures. I sense potentially that you have an interest in maybe Greek mythology also. If you're watching spiritual tarot readings, potentially you've done a lot of research into mythology, so you may have an interest in Greek mythology. Or you may actually just originate from one of these countries, or may have spent some time there in the past. Let's get some further insight about your personality from the personality bowl. See if we can get 6 cards when I close my eyes. Get one more. Here we go. Okay. So your cards, pile 5. Oh, we have great sense of humor. Lovely. We have meticulous, which came out for pile 3. We have water and ocean. You have dramatic. You have loud. You have mountains. And you also have animals and pets. So I see for you, pile 5, someone that's very outdoorsy also, with water and ocean, with the mountains and the animals and pets cards here, indicating to me that you might be a nature lover, that you like spending a lot of time outdoors. You may have multiple pets or animals, or you may just enjoy working with or being around like lots of animals or nature, potentially. This is also somebody that likes to be in the spotlight too, with the dramatic card here and the loud card, both indicating to me that you have a extroverted, sort of exuberant personality, with a great sense of humor also. Somebody that likes to be in the center of attention, likes to make other people laugh, and a very playful, energetic energy I'm picking up on. With the meticulous card here, I sense that you could be very hardworking. You've dedicated your life to your career, and you spend a lot of time, working on your career or your job. Or you're very sort of pedantic about the way that you like things. Potentially you might having some OCD personality traits, and that's no judgment because I also have them. But I do pick up on an individual that's quite sort of quirky, eclectic, with the different countries here. A very diverse sort of personality traits. Loud, dramatic, meticulous, all indicating to me that you're quite a striking individual, and the way that you show yourself off to other people is very unique, and very possibly quite eccentric, or just a little bit different and unique to most people, I sense, pile 5, which is great. So moving on from that, let's get some further insight about your personality and where you're currently headed from your oracle cards. Well, you have the card of Venus, the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. Oh, you have the star sign of Libra. This energy is diplomatic and gracious. It seeks harmony and balance in relationships. That's interesting because Venus is the ruler of Libra. So I sense that that your values are very important to you, pile 5. You will not do anything to compromise your values or to sort of hurt yourself in any way. I sense that you stick to what you believe in, and you don't let other people sort of change your mindset on things very easily. With the meticulous card here also, I sense that you could be, in a way, a little bit stubborn, possibly, or at least you know who you are and what you want, and that it takes a lot of work for people to actually be able to influence you or to change your mind on certain things. I am sensing somebody that also likes to see the beauty in other people with the Venus card here and the great sense of humor. I sense that you you know how to get the best out of other people, but you have a keen eye or perspective on what other people may not see about themselves. Also with the star sign of Libra here, about bringing out harmony and balance in other people, like allowing other people to see their good traits potentially that maybe they miss sometimes. You have the grounding card. Oh, and you have the insight card, number 42, understanding, awakening, awareness and self-evaluation. And grounding, it says nature, presence, practicality, and stability. So I did pick up on a group that's very outdoorsy, with the mountains here, the animals and pets, the water and ocean, and the grounding card indicating that you like to spend a lot of time outside. You may have a garden and be a very keen, avid gardener. With Venus and grounding, potentially, you see a lot of beauty in nature. And so you may have an interest in gardening and trying to beautify your home through plants and through nature. Or you may just like spending a lot of time in parks, potentially also, because it sort of grounds you, it makes you feel alive again. But I definitely see somebody that has a keen insight into other people's personalities with the insight card here and the star sign of Libra. Also with the great sense of humor too, you have the ability to really see what makes other people shine. You like to give compliments on the way people look and make people feel better about themselves. Somebody that has the ability to really see quite deeply into different situations in life, but also to really touch on people's hearts. And I sense people come to you to confide in pile 5. They really trust you. There's something about you that's very calming. With the Venus card here too, I sense people find you just very calming. Also, I sense that they feel that you're a lot of fun too with the loud card here. And the Venus card, the way that you present yourself, you may wear interesting, bizarre clothing, or you may dress quite sensually. But there's something about you that I sense is very fun-loving and extroverted. But people just feel really like comforted and warmed by you. You have a very sort of softening presence. But a very sort of nature-oriented individual. You may want to be a veterinarian, or you may just have multiple pets. I'm picking up on also, I sense pile 5. And your further oracle cards, you have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Right, so I did pick up on somebody that people come to for nurturing or to confide in when they're feeling quite low. You have the ability to just sort of make people feel better by your presence. There's something about your aura or the way that you present yourself that is just really soothing and comforting, pile 5. And I sense that maybe you do that as a career path, either through like nursing or being in hospitality somehow, or some sort of field where you are actually of service to other people. Your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. And your final cards, you have the pig spirit. Use your mind wisely. I love pigs. I'm going to get one when I'm older. And you have the elephant spirit. Learn from the past. Okay. So from those cards, I sense pile 5. You've made some errors in your past and you had to sort of spend some time really like correcting those errors. You may have put yourself into like financial debt potentially, or there may have been some issues with the law that you've had some run-ins with learn from the past. I'm picking up on a group that has made some errors in life and is now learning from them and has grown from them. And I also sense that because of that, you have the ability to sort of soothe and comfort others, and to lead others through their darkness potentially. you've learned from your mistakes, and now you're using those skills and that experience that you've gained through those issues of your past to actually counsel and help other people with their issues, with the use your mind wisely. I do see that you're highly intuitive with the insight card here, highly intuitive, and have a keen insight into people's personality traits or people's issues, and are just very mindful of how to help people overcome challenges in life, I'm sensing. But also, because you're such a unique and extroverted individual, people are just really drawn to you too. They find you quite entertaining. So you have a lot to give, pile 5, I see. With the your life is a canvas. What I pick up on from that is that you had to start again at some point in your past. You may have made some mistakes, and potentially you hit rock bottom, or you became very close to like losing everything, I'm sensing from this group. But it didn't break you. You actually learned from those experiences and grew from them, and have actually now managed to use them to help other people, I sense. But also, with the card of Venus being all about beauty, and that your life is a canvas, this is a group that may also have some artistic talents. You may be a painter or an artist. You may like to draw in your spare time. With the loud card here, potentially you've got a nice singing voice. There's something about your voice that is quite soothing and calming to other people. Or you may be into like sort of eccentric or really sort of daring art with the dramatic card here, and your life is a canvas along with Venus. If you are an artist, it's quite sort of cutting edge and very new age, I sense, pile 5. But this is most definitely a group that is people-oriented, that has learnt from mistakes in the past and now has a keen insight into other people's issues and likes to help other people overcome challenges that they may be going through. That's all I have for you, pile 5. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 6. Hello, pile 6, with the Aventurine Spear. Let's find out about your personality and where you're headed by starting with some country cards. Let's see if we can shuffle and get 3 or 4 country cards for you. Spirit, can we get 3 or 4 country cards for pile 6? Okay, there you go. So your first card is Brazil. Okay. You have Vietnam, which has come out in 3 of the 6 readings so far. You have Russia. And you also have New Zealand, which has come out also, I think, for pile 3, maybe? Yeah, it's another interesting sort of spread out all around the globe, pile 6, indicating that you may be well-traveled also. These may be countries that you are from or that you've spent time in the past. You may have lived in some of these countries potentially, or there might be something about their culture that really hits home for you, their food potentially. There may be a certain place that you've been to in these countries that is really dear to your heart and that you will always remember. Now let's get some further insight about your personality from the personality ball. I'm going to close my eyes and pull out some cards. Okay, so here we go. Oh, you have loud. And you have rivers and streams. You have peaceful. Nice. You have seaside also. Analytical. Tropical. Crafty and creative. And your final card is eccentric. Okay. Interesting cards. So I see that potentially pile 6, you may be you may live in a location that's very warm and tropical. The tropical card, the seaside and rivers and streams, really indicating to me that you may live somewhere like by the ocean potentially, or somewhere like on a river or a stream, a city that is located on a river or a stream near a tropical location potentially. Maybe in Brazil somewhere, or you've been to like a place in Brazil that's on like the, what's the river in Brazil? Or potentially you've been to visit like the Amazon River as part of your travels or something like that. I think the lower parts of Vietnam are quite warm also, so you may have done some traveling through Vietnam or through Southeast Asia. You also have the 2 cards here of peaceful and loud, which are kind of conflicting in their energies, really. But from what I get from that is someone that maybe you may have dedicated part of your life to activism somehow, or you may be very sort of forward thinking and progressive in the way that you present yourself and what your values are. So you may participate in like activism causes potentially, like standing up for Black Lives and the Black Lives Matter movement, or if you see some sort of injustice or disharmony, I think you're somebody that will probably talk out about it. You won't keep quiet. You'll speak out about injustices that you see potentially. Pile 6. But this is someone also that I sense is quite quirky and unique in their personality. People see you as a little bit of an oddball with the eccentric card here. And analytical, I sense I'm getting like very strong Aquarian sentiments from those cards. But you also have some creative talents too, pile 6. So let's find out more about those by looking at your oracle cards. Your first card is Cancer. This energy is emotional, sensitive, caring, and loving. It may concern family, a mother, or a child. Beautiful. You have the card of Sagittarius. This energy imbues power, superior confidence, and enthusiasm with faith, good fortune, and authority. Lovely. You have the connection card. Universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. And you have the solar plexus chakra, number 15. Well, that's interesting. But the connection card came out under the Cancer card. Cancer being all about a very family-oriented, very nurturing and motherly, loving zodiac sign. But you also have the solar plexus chakra under the Sagittarius card of drive, of ambition, of wanting to explore and expand your mind and your world. So this is somebody that it is very dichotomous in their way of life and what they want from life. I sense that you have that very strong sort of motherly, nurturing, compassionate side of you that wants to stand up for your strong beliefs and look out for other people, but also wants to put your own needs first too, with the solar plexus being about your self-empowerment and putting your needs first and really going after the things that you want in life. And Sagittarius, the zodiac sign of expansion, of travel, of growth, and pursuing your own desires. This is somebody that I sense has a strong balance in terms of being able to match your own goals and what you want from life, but also managing to also put the need of others first too. So I sense that for you, pile 6, your career path or what you're dedicating your life to is a humanitarian cause somehow. but in some way where you can actually stand out from the crowd and pursue your own dreams and desires. I do see somebody that probably likes to travel a lot, with all of these cards being from different corners of the globe, with Sagittarius who like to sort of travel and expand their horizon, along with the cards of tropical, seaside, and rivers and streams. I sense that traveling is very important to you. But I also see a lot of water in this reading, with the connection card related to your heart chakra, the star sign of Cancer, and rivers and streams and seaside. You're a very compassionate, warm, emotional individual, and very creative, I sense also. This is a group that I see really wanting to like push the world towards world peace, and moving into, say, the age of Aquarius, where we're all loving and supporting each other, where humanity unites and raises each other up. There's some strong Aquarian like personality traits and archetypes here, with the eccentricity card, the analytical card, the peaceful card. But in terms of your personality, I sense that you know that you have a lot of confidence with the loud card here in Sagittarius. You don't mind speaking out. You tell people what you think. Your values are very dear to you, and you stand up for what you believe in, Pile 6. And I see this being a group that has achieved already a lot in life, with this solar plexus chakra here. And the analytical card really indicating to me that you've managed to like forge your way in life and have had a lot of success already. Moving on. You have the messenger card. Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. Lovely. Which is a very Cancerian and peaceful, very peaceful Cancerian energy. You have Earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Okay. You have the Giraffe Spirit, number 29, see the big picture. And you have number 20, the Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. What's interesting. So you have the messenger card, Sirius energy, and dolphins. Dolphins are Syrian aliens, some believe, actually. So this is a group that may be a Syrian starseed, potentially. Sirius starseeds are here to help sort of bring harmony back to, and bring the earth back into balance. And I'm just seeing 11:11 on the clock as I say that. Bringing harmony back to humanity. With the Cancerian card here, connection and peaceful. There's something about your energy, a very playful energy, very... You like to tell people what you think, but it's mainly to like stand out from the crowd so that you can be an activist and lead humanity back into like supporting each other and being united. So I sense this is a group that makes sense that they have like a life mission, potentially, a Sirius starseed that is here to guide humanity back into the age of Aquarius, which is why you probably have some very strong Aquarian personality traits, I sense. Very eclectic and unique and quirky, Pile 6. You also have here Earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it, indicating that you probably originated from a different star system, and I sense that may be from the Syrian star system, Pile 6. But most definitely you're supposed to stand out from the crowd with the Giraffe Spirit here and the Solar Plexus card, along with Sagittarius, to follow your own dreams and desires, to really stand out and be a leader, I sense. But also to do that so you can help guide other people into following their own dreams and desires and really supporting humanity and loving each other. But water also has a big part in your life purpose, Pile 6 too. With the Dolphin Spirit here, the star sign of Cancer, rivers and streams in the seaside. Water is definitely a big part of your soul purpose on Earth right now. And that's all I have for you, Pile 6. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.